We're not even gonna have a crazy rundown today. We got the 2 batteries from eBay, we got the props, we got the chargers, everything's ready to go. I'm gonna charge those up, show you how they work, and then we're basically just gonna jump right out there and start flying this thing.
Look at that. And look this one. There we go. The magic. The work. It's magic. Now this is why I ended up getting the Phantom charger, because I can charge 2 batteries at once. Well, actually up to 4 as long as all of them are above 75%. Minus 11. And there's a lot of snow in here. Okay, we got the Mavic with the Dystopia skin on there, sitting there ready to go. We're going to be using the factory props for this, so we can actually get used to it before going to those carbon fiber ones. So let's put these on. And if anybody didn't know, the props that don't have the white circle on them go on the motor that doesn't have the white circle. So that's the white circle, no white circle, no white circle, white circle. It just like that. It's perfect. Okay, here we go. Moment of truth. What a wonderful sound to hear after so long. So much waiting. Okay, so crash this.
It turns out that the Mavic Pro remote and a Rode video mic have insane interference with each other. So all of the audio from the next clips are completely scrapped, so I'm gonna have to do a voiceover for it. So at this point here, all we're pretty much doing is just using the app. We're just agreeing to things, saying that we're not gonna fly it and no fly zones, all that other stuff. And then at this part here, we're just getting ready to launch. And now we're taking off. We can see that the drone is now launched off the roof of the car. And here we're finally flying, so let's get a view at that first flight. So now we're trying this without the gimbal cover on it. See if I can get a cool shot of the moon with that tree. Well, that wraps it up. All of the gimbal shots on there were manually controlled. I haven't played with any of the automated stuff that's built into it yet. I don't know anything about it. I just know it's really good, but I wasn't in a clear enough area where I could trust it to not hit things. The autofocus on this camera is gonna kill me. I'm gonna need a lot more practice before I can actually get some stable and smooth shots with this thing, but for the time being, I think you kind of get the picture of how smooth this drone actually is. When I was going through the footage, trying to make out what I was talking about so I could do the voiceover, I just ended up scrapping tons of the clips. There was probably another 4, maybe 5 minutes of footage just on the props alone, going back and forth between the factory ones and the other ones, a decibel reader. So I'm just gonna move that whole segment into its own video and reshoot the entire thing. Because the audio was gonna be scrapped anyway, I would have had to do a voiceover for pretty much 4 or 5 minutes on all of that footage. So it just wasn't really worthwhile to actually go through all of that work when I could just re-record it. It was also starting to get late when I started recording that, which you could have seen from the very last clip when I was landing on the car there. It was already getting dark. The low light wasn't handled very well. I was cold. I just wanted to get out of there. It'll be beneficial for everyone if I just reshoot the entire video and start over from square one on the props. But for anyone who just needs a definitive answer, they just look neat. There's zero difference that I found between the factory ones and the carbon fiber ones. Noise reduction between having those curved edges and not just kind of changes the pitch down a little bit. They're a little bit lower pitch whine to them, where the factory plastic ones, they have a higher pitch sound. That's pretty much the only difference. I also noticed no difference in battery life. So if you're looking at these as some kind of definitive solution for increasing battery life, they don't do anything. They just look cool. The only downfall that I found is they're not flexible at all, so if you hit something, they're probably going to explode. They are carbon fiber, which does like to do that. So that wraps up this third portion to this drone series, which I was actually hoping was only going to be one video, but here we are. Now, the extended look into these props isn't going to be next weekend, because I may have kind of dropped a hint that I kind of found the perfect phone. I've been playing with it for a few hours, and well, I'll see you guys next weekend.